So, I was wondering if I can get the aux. The aux mission.
And welcome to the Pass the Aux live stream podcast. Jacob.
Hello.
My guest, Jacob Pickett, with me today. You've seen him with me countless things. We do the Shut-Ins podcast, the Shut-Ins live show.
Mm-hmm.
We work together constantly.
I was on a Pass the Aux.
Yeah, you've been on Pass the Aux.
This will probably semester? Semester before? No, last year.
It was last semester. Yeah. Because we only got like 5 episodes in before we had to cut it short.
Yeah.
But yeah. So today we are going to rate that album.
Yeah.
Insert clapping sound effects. We don't have a tech guy yet, but like we'll have someone to MC it soon. Thank you.
This is me clapping. Golf clap.
Bravo. I like that.
Yeah.
That sound actually works.
Sweet.
So
now
today,
you just isolate that.
We're going to review, rate, and just kind of talk about Baby Keem's newest album, The Melodic Blue.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go track by track, talk about what we liked, didn't like, etc. And then at the end of it all, we're going to rate the whole album. See, I individually rated each song, but that doesn't matter.
Right.
I just did it because I like doing that for fun.
Unless you wanted to do that and then average it out, and that's the album.
That's a lot of work, though.
That's math.
So
and I'm not
much
good at
math.
that.
I'm not good at math.
I do not care for that.
I know a lot about music, but not a lot about math.
Mm-hmm.
So,
same here.
Yeah, so let's get into it. So The Melodic Blue, Baby Keem's second studio album, starts off with the intro, Trademark USA.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
I said it goes hard, and it's a good opener.
It's a great opener.
While the album is, and we'll get into it, like kind of song to song, it kind of like has a lot of tone shifts, and that'll probably be something I mention a lot over the course of it. But for an opener to an album, this was a fantastic choice.
Yes.
And a fantastic way to open it. I said it has a lot of multiple good beat switches too throughout it, because you don't. I guess like at first thought you think an opener to an album's either like the longest or like something that's not that long.
Yeah, something quick.
Yeah, something like an intro, but this is kind of one of the longer ones on the album.
Yeah.
Because like as it kept going on, because like this was the second time I listened to it.
Yeah, it's like a 4.5 minute album, or not album, a 4.5 minute song.
Right.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've said that it was a phenomenal intro, beat switch in typical Baby Keem style.
Yeah.
You cannot listen to a Baby Keem album without hearing at least one beat switch.
Right, exactly. And I dig that a lot.
Yeah, and like we learned that last time I had you review his first album.
Right, exactly. I totally forgot that that's the 2 episodes I've been on. But both been Baby Keem related. That's funny.
Oh yeah, but so overall, like that's Trademark USA is one of my favorite songs on the whole album because he starts off like you can tell he's just very vulnerable at the beginning, but then he, in typical fashion, switches, it goes harder. And gets a little bit more goofy and like more fun with it. Not even goofy, just more fun and laid back with the lyrics. But then it goes into the second song, which is Pink Panties.
Yeah, we talked about this when the album came out. I'll just go ahead and say this is the only song I don't care for on this album. The first time I listened to it, there were a couple songs I was kind of like not crazy about. Yeah. But upon my second listen, which was earlier today before doing this show, I realized that I had more appreciation for songs that I didn't care for the first go around, except this one. This is still the only one where I was like, my first note was subtlety is at an all-time low. There is no innuendo. It is all blatant in this song.
I think it's okay. Like, so I don't think it's a bad song by any means. It's just, it's easily probably my least favorite on the whole album.
Yes.
And that's mainly just because of, like, on here I put Keem spazzes as always, but the hook is a little weird and scary.
Yeah, my thing was, I said the beat and flow is good, and the verses aren't that bad, but the chorus is not good.
Like, what is that?
And
it's not even a feature.
Yeah,
There's no way that's him, too.
I think it is. I think it is him just doing another weird voice.
I don't know how he makes that voice thing.
I don't either. Yeah,
his voice is like, it's not high-pitched, but it's definitely not that deep.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's just him doing some weird stuff. But, the chorus, it just takes me, because I listen to it, and as soon as it starts, I'm like, oh, brother. Like, this is
oh, brother.
I was like, this is ridiculous. And then it gets to the verse, I'm like, this is pretty good. And then it goes back to the chorus, and I'm over it again. And it goes to the second verse, I'm like, oh, I'm into it again. And then it ends with the chorus again. I'm just like, no.
It's the most bipolar I've ever been listening to a song.
Right.
Because, like you said, like the hook is just so weird, and you're just like, oh, this is gross.
Yeah.
But then you hear the, okay, all right, babe. And I'm just like,
and you're back into it, yeah. It's super weird.
Okay, well, I think we have a pretty similar opinion on this.
Yeah.
So the next song is Scapegoats.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just tell you, 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
This song is just perfection in my opinion. The lyricism is just off the charts for him being a primarily trap artist. Mm-hmm. And it's not even like trap music, but like it's hard to label this guy because he's very lyrical, but he's not like lyrical miracle, like, you know, like he's not making like boom bap stuff, and so it's kind of hard to label him. So he like mainly gets like the trap effect is like usually the category he gets put in, but this song just specifically is so good.
Yeah, I said that it was simple but still really good and more mellow compared to the last two songs.
Yeah,
and that kind of goes back and forth between that a lot in this album. I did put a line that I like. He says, "I open Fetty Wap." I'm like, that's fantastic. I like that a lot, and it's a good lead-in to the next song as well.
It really is.
I really like when albums are able to do that. Like not in, like when like a song ends and it connects and flows right into the next one. That's cool, and I like that a lot. But this didn't really fully do that. But still,
it just like leads in very well.
Right. It's a good like the end of it and then the start of the new one happening right after right next to each other. It works
connects.
Perfectly.
It doesn't really blend, but it connects very well.
Yes, exactly.
And so that brings us to track number 4, Range Brothers.
Yeah, dude.
And let me tell you, the only thing I wrote on this,
look in the camera for this one.
The only thing I wrote on this pad was top of the moanin', top of the moanin', top of the moanin'.
The first thing I put was, oh yeah, that was the first note I put as soon as the first note came in, and I put I need more of Keem and Kendrick together. Because, like, this album has the first 2 songs where they, like, fully work together, and I need more of it.
3 songs.
Oh, yeah, 3.
Yeah.
But obviously I assume that'll be happening more, and I'm sure you feel the same way.
Well, I mean, Kendrick's the owner of his label.
Exactly, but, like, they weren't...
And they're related.
Yeah, exactly. Like, them not being, like, featured together until now, I wish it was happening sooner. Because every song they've done directly together, like, one is there featuring the other... is fantastic.
It's very good. Yeah. My thing is like I really like commend Keem though on like his not wanting to be just immediately associated with Kendrick.
Right. That was a good idea.
Like that's what his like main thing has been until he blew up. Mm-hmm. But now that and he didn't tell anyone that he was related to him until after his first album came out. And so like that's crazy. But I really like now that people know it's you know, people are just like, whatever. Cool. Yeah. You're related to him. We know you're good now.
Exactly.
So we're not going to worry about it.
And I put the beat is rad. Kendrick comes in hard. Yes. And he only comes in for like a couple lines and then goes back to Baby Keem. But still, like, he just like made his presence known with it. And then when it kicks in to, of course, the best part of the song that everyone knows.
Yeah, top of the moanin'.
I put in all caps top of the moanin' on my notes here. And then, of course, Kendrick ad-libs are amazing.
Yes. He is Baby Keem.
Yeah. Just why does he talk like that? Like it's funny, but it's like he's just like it's. I mean this, and then later on, which I'll get to those ad libs later.
Yeah.
It's it's not bad, but it is funny.
It's him trying new voices, and I love it. Mm-hmm. And because you know, like if you're looking at the whole like GOAT debate as who's the greatest right now, Kendrick's doing something different. Like he really is. Yeah. And like you know, we can get into those type of talks any day. But, like, that's just the main, like, one of the main arguments right now is, like, Kendrick is doing different things.
Yes.
Like, he's trying new voices.
And I'm all about, I mean, you know the type of rap I predominantly like. It's weird stuff.
Yeah. You like the good stuff, though. It's weird but good, which, you know, everyone who knows me knows I don't listen to normal stuff. So, whatever. But, yes. And I love Kendrick's verse in this song because it actually is kind of like a... One of his lines is actually like, I don't know how to explain it, but it kind of connects to a song later down the track list.
Right.
Yeah, and I love that too because it's kind of, I don't know, for as crazy as this record is compared to the last one, it's still very personal and deep to him. Yeah. And I love that.
Absolutely.
You know, I'd rather him have a good time but still keep doing these deep cuts.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so... Which, you know, goes into the next track, 2 Issues.
And yeah, I put... This song is sad.
It like, really is.
Because I kind of got that the first time I listened to it. But again, that was like a couple weeks ago after it came out. And when I was listening to it again today, I was like, this song is really sad. I put, what a tone shift. Like, because there were a couple, like, before this
Yeah.
But this was the first real, like,
Yeah.
completely the opposite of what came before it.
Which I love it. And I think the song is awesome, has great meaning, and I like how he talks about his mother and her drinking problem and all that stuff, and how it's not even, like, necessarily supposed to be looking at her in a negative way, even though he talks about all these things she did.
Yeah.
But I just felt like the instrumental, it kind of just stays the same the whole time, and which,
like, I almost said something about, like, the beat, but I was like, it's not even really a beat either.
It's almost like metronome that they just threw some effects on, and he's just kind of there. But, like, at the same time, it's not bad by any means. I think it's a really good song. It's just, I feel like it's lacking a little bit because, you know, there's other artists where a beat like that would work, but I feel like with Baby Keem, at least change it.
Right. It's,
like,
I said,
switch it up.
Yeah, I said it's still really nice, though, and I don't usually like sad rap like this, where it is just, like, straight up, like, so some people, they have, like, sad lyrics or whatever, but the beat's still, like something like
every Future album.
Yeah, well, yeah, like that, or, like, something like EXO Tour Life with Lil Uzi Vert. Like, the words are sad, but the beat's still, like,
you're
heavy,
still
and you're like, yeah, let's go. Like,
yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. But, like, something like this where it's, like, just straight up, like, melancholy the whole time. I usually don't care for rap songs that are kind of like that, at least these days.
Yeah.
Because I know my brother plays a lot of stuff.
Sometimes they hit a little too close to home.
Either that, or I'm just like, it's just, like, so blatantly sad. I'm like, I don't even want to listen to this. Like, it's not even that it's making me sad. I'm just like, I'm over it, you know? But this is good.
I know exactly what you mean. And so that leads us into Gorgeous. And my goodness, dude, I love this song.
Yeah.
It is so Kanye inspired, but it's still, like, Baby Keem.
Is this the one with the Kanye sample?
No.
I forget which one has
That's
that.
later down.
Yeah, okay.
No, this one's just, like, inspired. Because, like, I don't know if you could tell, but, like, he is very new to auto-tune.
Yes.
And you can tell on this album. And so, like, some of the, like, literally some of, like, the ad-libs and stuff he does is, like, him just playing with auto-tune.
Well, I made a note about that. I said actual good use of auto-tune. Because it wasn't just, like, him clearly, like, singing or something and it just going, like, like, the whole time.
Yeah.
Up and down. Like, it's used a lot of the time.
Like, he was doing it on purpose. Like, he was...
it just
spacing
sounded
out the enunciation of words.
Exactly, and it just sounded more like it was synthesized, not even like auto-tune. Like I was almost afraid to refer to it as auto-tune because I couldn't.
Yeah.
Because in my head I was like, I don't know if I would even call it that. Because usually you have auto-tune, it's like it just sounds like a robot talking. But this just sounded like his voice was electronic. Like it's a weird subtle difference, but that's the way I could think to describe it, and I dug that. It was catchy. The flow and beat are good.
Yes.
Those are the main notes I had about it.
That's exactly what I wrote. I wrote Kanye influence, yet still Keem doing what he always does best, energy. And like we were talking about the autotune, like the way he spreads out the gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like you could tell like he's trying to do it in like an artistic way. Because there's nothing wrong with autotune. It's just used poorly.
Yeah, autotune gets... I mean, because I used to be with the people years ago where I'm just like, all autotune is bad. People who use it are just people that can't actually sing. But in actuality, it's just that it got a bad rap because a lot of people did use it for that. So that became the association with it.
Though, like,
I know, right? Because like, what's
he
funny
really was just trying to do something different.
Well, what's funny is that people were still saying that, but then when T-Pain would come on, everybody would be okay with it because it was genuinely good. But nobody like ever specified that.
Yeah,
they were just like auto-tune bad, but they were T-Pain's cool though.
I think the funniest part is they gave T-Pain so much crap, and then Kanye dropped 808s and Heartbreak, which is like the first full rap album that's all auto-tune and 808 basses instead of like traditional basses.
Right.
And everyone's just like, all right, auto-tune's cool. And
right.
Here we are now. But like, whatever, dude.
It's all that matters is that we got here.
Yeah. Next up is South Africa. I love this song.
I know you do because when we've hung out multiple times, that song usually plays at some point, and it's one of the like 2 or 3 songs that have been somewhat stuck in my head since I first heard the album.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Like, I just love the cancel me, I cancel you. We won't make up.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I put love the bass, also catchy, but then I also put also not subtle.
It's
at least
not at
towards
all.
the end.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end. They're just like, all right, there's no innuendo here. We are straight talking about it.
You make money, I do too. Let's fall in love.
Yeah, that too.
That's not subtle at all.
Yeah, it's not, but it's also not as like straight up vulgar like a lot of other things are.
That is one thing. He stepped it up on his P-word game in this album.
Yes, he did. Oh, good lord.
But I feel like he's one of the... It's almost like listening to ODB, because you're like, if you want to hear someone do some vulgar stuff, at least make it interesting.
I didn't even think about that. That's why I like Baby Keem. He gives ODB vibes with songs like that.
Yeah, modern
no
ODB.
Wonder. Because I love ODB.
It's because
that makes all the sense in the world. I never thought about that.
There's so many rappers that like get vulgar, but like they're not interesting when they do it. They're just saying it.
Yeah, they're just saying it. Or
these dudes are making it fun.
Yeah, they're just like they're not just saying it to say it like other people do. It makes sense in the context of what they're saying, even if it is ridiculous or just not subtle at all.
Yeah, just straight up there. Which, yeah, I love that song so much. So happy. Then we have Lost Souls. And so I texted you earlier today, and I told you we're just going to include the Brent Faiyaz version in this.
Yeah.
Because it's literally the same thing. It's not even like a remix. It just says Lost Souls featuring Brent.
Yeah.
Which, that's what the first thing I wrote was, Brent? In all caps.
Yeah, there's definitely a pair of people. I don't think I put that in my notes, but that was what I thought. I was like, the more I thought about it, I was like, this is an interesting pair of people to work together.
And it works.
It did.
So, it sounds bad, but the original version, I wasn't the biggest fan of.
Yeah, that was one I didn't...
Because, like, I feel like he almost gives
it.
too much energy to this smooth of a song. And so if you take out one of his verses and replace with Brent, it kind of mellows it out a little bit more, as it should. And so that's what I wrote. I like the song itself is cool. It's more of a vibe than like an experience like certain songs are. Yeah. And then I put like Brent is Brent, and he always like, I just love the way people talk about Brent Faiyaz. Is like they're always like, he's so toxic, but like no, he's just Brent. Like when he's like, if you ain't nasty, don't at me, and like, he's just very nonchalant. Yeah. And, like, his whole thing is... Like, his last album was called F the World. Like, come on. You can't get mad at him for having some lines that are self-empowering. Right. Yeah,
I originally just put, like, another mellow song. That was really just kind of the gist of it. But then, because I just listened to, like, as he said on Twitter, like, the DLC version of the album.
Funny. He said, new Baby Keem DLC for free.
Yeah. So, because I had songs from the original release, but then... If you go on his page on Spotify, at least, the original release has been replaced by the new one with the 3 extra songs. So I was just like, okay, I'll just listen to that because I need to listen to the 3 new songs anyway because I hadn't really heard them as much.
Yeah, that's how I did it. Well, actually, I moved the Brent version up and just put them 2 back to back, so it's an easier comparison for me.
I thought about doing that. I didn't, but yeah.
Yeah, it was just an easier way to compare it because like I gave it a 7 out of 10 without Brent and then a 9 out of 10 with Brent. Yeah. Just because I thought his verse was really dope.
Yeah, I put because then when I heard the Brent Faiyaz version, I put still mellow, even better with Brent in it, and good collab. Because
like they need to work together. Like
I agree completely.
There's so many. I wanted to get into that after we get into the review part. I'll keep that in mind.
Yes.
And then we go into Coco, and another tone shift. Like wow, like Lost Souls is very like smooth. It's mellow. You know, even Keem bringing his energy just keeps that song kind of like a mellow and like chill, happy level. Coco is just like,
yeah, exactly.
And then once again, not subtle at all.
Yeah, not subtle. My main note was he rhymed toxic with toxic at one point, but it was funny, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Because last time we talked about Baby Keem's last album, or his first one, technically, or his first official like album release.
His debut.
Yeah, his debut one. I remember because when we were doing Past the Ox talking about that, there were a couple times throughout the album where I was like, I wasn't crazy about a song because there was pertinent points where he rhymed a word with itself.
Yeah.
And I always hate that in rap songs. And any song where there's clearly a rhyming scheme, or not even just like one rhyming scheme, but rhyming happens frequently, if not all the time.
Yeah.
Rhyming the same word with itself always annoys me. But in this case, it made it funny.
Yeah.
So I was cool with it. And also it's super catchy.
Yeah, I don't know why it's called Coco. Like I know they reference like cocoa butter, but like
once.
Like the main theme of the song though is like he doesn't trust this girl because she's going and fooling around with his best friend.
Yeah.
Or his friends plural too.
Yes.
The way he describes it, but I thought Don Toliver is a really weird but awesome collab to do.
Yeah, I agree, because I don't know too much about Don Toliver outside of his stuff recently, like, kind of blowing up more.
Yeah. So he was on Travis Scott's Astroworld on the song Can't Say. And there's literally this video, and the dude is serious. It's a video of him, like, listening to the album, and Can't Say comes on. And there's a part in that where, right before Don comes on, where, like, everything just stops for a second. Mm-hmm. And then out of the silence, you just hear Don do the, you can't say. Yeah. And the guy's like, yo, what?
Yeah.
Is that Akon?
Oh, my God.
He does kind of sound like Akon.
He does kind of sound like Akon.
He sounds like Akon if
I never thought
Convict never got out.
Yeah, I never thought about that. But now that you said that, and I remember what song that is, that absolutely does kind of sound like Akon.
Yep. But I thought it was a cool add-on, because, like, Don Toliver is always a vibe. Because, like, he can sing a whole bunch. Like, he can sing his heart out. Yeah. But then he can also do stuff like this, where he can keep a vibe, and he can kind of add, like, a poppy or R&B aspect to a rap song. And so I really like Don for that. Yeah. And it's really cool that way. Yeah. So that goes into Family Ties.
Yeah, part 2, baby.
First thing I wrote was, jump in that!
Yeah, I put, you already know. That's my first note. Also, a quick side story. I texted Gavin yesterday, because I was leaving the station, and I was listening to music in my headphones, and I was like, oh man, Family Ties has been stuck in my head again. I was like, I'm not going to, like, choose to play it, though. I'm just going to shuffle whatever. I press shuffle, and it starts playing. Not messing around. I was thinking of this song, press shuffle, and it started playing. I stood there really creeped out for a second, because I was like, my mind just got read by my phone. That's kind of freaky, because I never said that out loud. I didn't say a part of the song out loud. Nothing.
Your headphones were reading your mind.
I guess. It was, because I just pressed shuffle, like I had it set on a table, and I was about to put my stuff up, and just stopped. I was like, ugh. But yeah, I don't care. The song is good.
It's a really good song.
Really good. This was because this was the one. Yeah, this is the one that released right before the album dropped.
Yeah, once it
like a week before. Not even.
I wrote this on here. Like, once again, another awesome song. Classic Keem beat switch. Kendrick verse was just gas.
Yes.
And a couple of the lines that stuck out to me was, "Don't address me unless it's with 4 letters."
Yeah.
And like, when I first heard that line, I literally was like screaming, G-O-A-T! Like, I was so hyped. And then obviously, Smoking on Top 5.
I put that too.
F your album, F that single, burn that hard drive.
Yeah, that's raw. I'm all about that. That's like the kind of lyrics I like. Where
Stop playing on that guy.
Yeah, I put this song stuck in my head since it came out. Super banger. And the funny dance.
And
in the
Country
middle of
Kendrick.
Yeah, yeah, the dance.
I do that all the time.
I know.
Keem made a great dance in the music video for people like me, who I have rhythm, but I just don't have the energy to do like all the TikTok dances. Like,
yeah,
I don't know about all that.
Right. Yeah, I don't. I mean, half of those aren't even dances. It's just hand movements.
Yeah, whatever.
But I had all my notes and had all this stuff, and then and Kendrick hasn't even come in yet. Because then I put Smoking in Your Top 5 tonight. Beat switch Kendrick in, hell yeah. And then I just put in quotes, brother.
Yeah, country Kendrick. Yeah,
this was. As a wrestling fan, this is the best set of lines they could have done, where they just say "brother" over and over again.
Amazing, brother.
It's out of nowhere too. Like, you hear it and you're like, "What?"
Yeah, because he's like, "My gentleman is amazing, brother."
Yeah,
like
that happens with all the songs they're in together. That happens. It's
know that he finished this verse doing the same "my gentleman" like yelling thing.
Yeah,
and then he was like, "No, cut it right before amazing."
Yeah.
Amazing, brother.
Yeah. And then I put more good ad-libs, which I alluded to earlier. Which, Kendrick's ad-libs in this towards at the end are just incredibly hilarious.
I just love his ad-libs in general. Oh,
yes.
Another line that stuck out was when Baby Keem says, number 2 DMing my chick. That's okay. I don't ask why. Mm-hmm. And everyone's going crazy right now, like, what does he mean by number 2? Is he talking about an NBA player, an NFL player? Number 2 in the rap game, in quotes? And everyone's like, what? Like, losing their minds.
I didn't realize people were going that in depth about it. Jeez.
I mean, like, if you think about it, like, what does he mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not going that crazy about it.
Right.
Because everything comes to the light.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way. Celebrities are not safe.
They're also not. They don't keep secrets a lot.
Yeah, they're not very good at keeping secrets. Specifically, if you're dating Baby Keem.
Yeah.
Someone, you are definitely going to be like, all right, number 2 is, drum roll please, Vin Diesel.
Oh, man.
Maybe that's what it is.
Oh.
Number 2 in the Fast and Furious series.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't let Vin Diesel hear you say that. He'll get mad at you like The Rock.
Don't get mad at me. You know he makes music. Don't make a diss track.
Wait, does he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's not good.
I didn't think so.
It's not good at all.
Did not think so. I'm not going to go look.
So, after Family Ties,
yes,
we go into Scars.
This
is the Kanye sample.
Yes, there it is. It's not the Papa Roach song. We both thought that was a joke.
It's not the tear my heart.
Yeah, it's not. As much as I would have loved that, that was the first thing I thought was like, he's going to cover or sample Scars.
If he did,
that would have been so
if he did
funny.
a Baby Keem version of that song,
or just took it and added a different beat to it. Yeah. Maybe sped it up or slowed it down.
That's crazy though, is because on here I wrote that Scars is basically this album's version of what My Ex was on his
Hate My Ex. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I think I thought the same thing.
And it's funny you put that, because if he actually did like his own cover remix thing of Scars by Papa Roach, it would literally be
the same song.
Because My Ex literally was his own version. He didn't go like full pop punk, but like
or emo,
it was a very guitar style.
It was all guitar.
It's so good. So good.
Right. That is funny that we made that connection now. Oh. It's like this isn't the Scars cover because he already made it. It's last album.
But yeah, he samples Love Lockdown by Kanye, and it's a very subtle sample, or it's very subtle in the original song, but they take that one part and make the whole beat out of it. Because I remember listening to Love Lockdown after I found out it was a sample, and I was like, where? And then it hit, and I was like, oh!
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, and then I showed you.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I said it was back to mellow, and again, I think this was one of the mellows, because, again, like I said before, the first time I listened to this after, like, the day it came out,
yeah.
And I think maybe the day after I finished it. I don't remember if I listened to it all in one day. But not every song I was crazy about. And I think it was mostly the more mellow songs, or some I was just kind of like, and so I like didn't add them in my playlist or whatever. But yeah, like I said, listening to earlier today, I added every song except one to my playlist.
And
on the second go around,
it was Pink Panties.
Correct. I told like not to go back to it, but every time a verse came in, I'm like, and then the chorus came in, I was like, I liked it again. I was like, nah, no thanks.
But overall, I really like this song, like a lot, and I actually gave it a 10 out of 10.
Nice.
But speaking of songs we don't like very well, let's go into Do-Rag Activity.
Oh man, see, I didn't know how you felt about this. I know I made mention. I think I mentioned like a couple.
I have
things
respect
about
for
it.
I
mentioned a couple things about it. I think after I heard it, and I talked to you a little bit about it, but not like anything too in depth. Yeah, you go first.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Keem was awesome. Like, you know, it's his album. He's doing what he's doing. These are his type of instrumentals. And he was good. And Travis wasn't bad, but I feel like he could have gotten a better feature. Because, like, that's no disrespect to Travis Scott. It's just this wasn't, like, rage enough for Travis.
Right. That's exactly what I thought.
Poppy enough for him.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's known for making, like, ragers of rap songs or turning pop instrumentals into crazy rap songs that he can harmonize on.
Yeah.
But this, like, I get it. He was trying to rap, and he didn't do bad. Like, his verse isn't terrible. I like the song enough to tolerate.
Yeah.
It's just not the one I'm going to be going to all the time.
Yeah, because, like, this was also one of the songs that I remember not caring much for the first listen through, and I did not add it to my, like, playlist or anything. And but then this time around I did, because like at least towards, like, as the song went on, like it started off and I was like, oh yeah, I remember not liking this song that much, or thinking it was kind of weak.
Like so this was one of the singles.
The second,
yeah,
and I hadn't heard it before then.
Yeah, so this is one of the so from the original, like before he did the DLC, Do-Rag Activity and Family Ties are the only singles that made it to the album, and I liked it when the song first came out. I feel like I like it more than when it first came out, though. Because before, I had completely disregarded Travis. I was excited when it dropped, listened to it, was mad at Travis's part, so stopped listening to it.
Right.
But now, I like Travis's part because, like, he's saying some, like, bars, but still just feels like the energy's off.
Yeah, my whole thing was, like, I liked it better the second time around. I said I feel like these two together could go so much harder. Like they both can.
Yeah.
On songs, it's kind of like what you brought up. Like they can both go hard in their songs, and they're like partially known for that.
Yeah,
for a
and
fair
it's
amount of
almost
songs.
too mellow.
That's exactly
for
yeah.
these two.
Song is surprisingly mellow was my next note.
It's because like Keem himself, he can handle an instrumental like that.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of his bread and butter.
And I mean, we'd heard it on this album already.
Yeah, and so it could have stayed like that, but he had Travis, and so I feel like if you're gonna pull Travis of all people, you need to make the song significantly harder.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I was like hearing those two names together, like on paper, you're like, oh,
it's exciting.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this song's gonna be insane. Like,
yeah,
oh man. But then you hear it and you're like, I mean, it's not bad, but it was almost the opposite of what I was expecting.
Exactly.
It's very strange.
It's not bad, but I want something better.
Yeah, I hope they collab.
This is
again.
a good first try.
Yeah, that's a fair way of putting it.
So that goes into Boo Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know what you think first, because I love this song.
Right. I remember, if I remember correctly, when I originally listened to the album and was like adding stuff I liked to a playlist.
Yeah.
I think at the time, this was the last or second to last song I added, and because I remember looking at my playlist, seeing like the order they went in.
Which I mean, it's the third to last song, so
yeah.
I don't blame you for waiting.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I was like, whatever. Like, because I don't think I added anything else after that, which is weird, because one of the songs we get to after I do really like, and I don't know what I was thinking the first time. But yeah, I said the beat sounds like trumpets. I don't know if it actually is, but it kind of sounds like it, so I'm down with it.
Like the instrument?
Yeah, like the instrumental.
Well, I was just making sure you weren't talking about the Jason Derulo song, and I was about to say how.
No, not at all. No.
Yeah, I like that too, because
yeah.
like it's not trumpets, but it like gives off trumpet vibes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a sucker for brass instruments and music, so like and I put simple but good, and then one of the lines that I had to write down was, "My name is not Jeff." What a reference to throw in.
I love that so much. So. First thing is, Boo Man was referenced earlier in the album when on Range Brothers when Kendrick said, "Hold up, Boo Man, let me get some too."
Yeah.
So
I hadn't noticed that till the second go around either.
Yeah. So that's like Keem's alter ego.
Yeah.
Or like
nickname.
His Slim Shady, basically.
Yeah.
And so I put like that's a really good way to introduce him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like have Kendrick like reference you as this. So some people are like, "Man, has he always been called this?"
Right. Exactly.
But another thing I wrote was, I'm sexy and blessed. Because I just love that so much. But yes, I love the energy. For as, like, not chill, but it's not like a rager. As, like, smooth as the beat is, he keeps the energy perfect.
Yes.
And I also put, he out-Cardi'd Playboy Cardi.
Word.
That's what I wrote. But, he's influencing. So all you Cardi fans, don't crucify me for this. Jeepers. I like Whole Lotta Red, too. Gosh.
Just got to defend ourselves here.
But then a tone switch of the century is Boo Man to First Order of Business.
Yeah. Like,
but not in a bad way.
No, it's not.
I think this is my favorite tone switch from the album.
Yeah, I remember that one distinctly. Because, like, my notes are simply, like, catchy, but mellow again. Not bad, though.
Yeah. I like First Order of Business because it's almost like Issues Part 2. Mm-hmm. Because it's like First Order of Business, gave some money to my mama.
Yeah.
Like showing that he's doing good. And so like the first thing I wrote was like, I love his positivity of this, and I love like all the things that he's saying is like real things that happen, and it shows in the music video. He bought a house for his grandma. And he raps about it, and in the music video, they're at the house. And they're like, "What'd you do when you hit your first mill?" And he's like, "I bought a house for my grandmother." Mm-hmm. And it's almost like he's humbling, but, like, he doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not saying, like, oh, my gosh, Baby Keem's so humble, but, like, I don't know. It's a good way to humble yourself when this whole album deals with his newly found success.
Yeah.
Well, his success.
Yeah.
His commercial success. Because, like, he's had a following, obviously. But, yeah. And so I like that song.
Yeah.
And then we go into Vent.
Yeah. I don't know why I apparently didn't like this song the first go around, because
how could you not?
I know, because this is one of the like 3 songs that have been stuck in my head, and I don't know. I guess I must have just like forgotten to, because I'm like, there's no way I listened to this the first time and was like, because it's got like the hardest opening in the whole album.
Yeah, the first thing I wrote was in all caps.
That's I can see that from here. Nice.
Then I also wrote, "To phone Baby Keem, what you mean?
Yeah.
I'm here, bro."
Yeah, I didn't mention this because I forget which. I think it might have been this song where I would have mentioned it, but I didn't write it down. But I was like, he mentions having 2 phones a lot. Like it happens like 6 or 7 times in this.
Got 2 phones, but only brought one in this thing.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if that's just like a theme he's keeping, or if he was just like, it works, so he just kept using it.
Hey,
Either way, it was
I'm
fine.
down with it.
Yeah.
2-phone baby Keem is more than welcome in this house.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Because I was like, if it became overused, because I think some albums out there they'll be like have one thing they say or something, but it's not like an ad lib or something they use. It's just like a line they use all the time. I feel like, all right, don't push it, you know.
I'm still confused on how you didn't like this song in the first go around.
Well, no, I think
it's got Kendrick ad libs and a Kendrick hook.
Right, exactly. I think
it's got
that's what I'm saying.
intro.
That's what I'm saying. I had to have just forgotten to put it in my playlist.
Yeah,
that had to have. Because because I was like,
because I'm pretty sure that intro you probably, if I know you well enough,
yes,
the Kendrick's hook at the very beginning would be enough for this one to be your favorite Baby Keem and Kendrick song ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, because I put like hardest opening, not messing around. Some lines are kind of dumb, but it's good overall. Like, there's like 2 or 3 lines here or there that I'm kind of like, all right, chill out. But
I love the references to the label that Kendrick had started and Keem is a part of.
Yeah, it's weird because it's an uncredited feature, isn't it? At least
in this one.
At least on
So Kendrick did this a lot for TDE members. His label he's still a part of right now, and he's done that before. Like Reason has Showstop, J-Rock has Win. Like if you listen to Win by J-Rock closely, you can hear Kendrick. He's the one that does the whoa whoa whoa.
Gotcha.
And he does it often. I think he just, when you listen to a Kendrick album, you don't get a lot of ad libs, and so I feel like when he does it for other people, that's his way of getting ad libs out.
Yeah, which is great. Again,
I'm okay with it.
Like they're funny, but not in a bad way. They're just genuinely good, but also hilarious.
Because he's like showing energy that he normally does.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm perfectly fine with it. I love it. But like I love I forget what he says. He says something like, "What you mean, there, little boy? I rep PG, there, boy." Yeah. It's so hard. And
all about it.
Yeah, that's a 10 out of 10 song. Mm-hmm. Don't care who you are. 10 out of 10.
Yes. No. I was gonna say the more I'm looking at my because you also mentioned having a top 5 at the end, which I kind of forgot to do before we started.
Be careful though. I'm smoking on top 5s.
Right. But the more I'm looking at, the more I'm like, every top 5 is very close to the other. Yeah. Like it was very hard. Yeah. So I'm probably just gonna say that kind of defeats the purpose.
If anything, it'd be easier to do a top 10.
Right. Well, I was gonna say when we get there, mine's probably gonna be
19 songs
at this rate. Because the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm like, I might have to say this is my top 5 unordered because I don't know.
Yeah, I can't put it in order. Mm-hmm. Because, there's so many songs I love. Yeah. And speaking of which, we're going to go into another one that I love so much is 16, track 16.
Which was, originally the last song.
Also titled 16.
Yes.
And this is what I call the outro.
Yes.
The last 2 songs I'm just going to go with as just bonus tracks.
Which, last 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we already talked about one.
Yeah. They're bonus tracks. Yeah. I think it was just him finding an easier way to include them. Because, I'm lazy.
Because, I hadn't heard those songs before, so it was a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bad friend. I forgot to tell you when they dropped.
They've
been out for a grip.
Oh, those songs? Yeah. I've followed Baby Keem since you showed me about him last semester. I just missed him.
Yeah, but 16, phenomenal.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, one final tone shift. I said emotional. Yeah, I was like a mellow emotional one again, still good.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I put on here, feels like so beautiful. I feel like I'm driving windows down on a crisp day that's not too cold, not too hot. This is this album's version. So, Honest and My Ex were like the 2 most vulnerable songs on the last album.
Yes.
And so this song is this album's Honest. Because it's there, it's vulnerable, it's so good. And I still can't stop listening to it. Like when I walked into the station, right before I had turned on the song I was crying about when I walked in, I was listening to this one. But yeah, overall 10 out of 10 songs.
Yes.
Just kisses. But then we go into Hooligan.
Yes.
Okay, so since I've heard this multiple times already and you hadn't heard it yet, what do you think?
Well, really, I didn't have too many notes about it. My main thing was that overall it was catchy. Which I'm all about. And my other note was that I hadn't heard it until it was added to the album.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have too many in-depth notes about that one.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it.
I love Hooligan. I loved it when it dropped. I still love it today. I feel like this should have been there instead of Do Rag Activity. on actually in the album.
Yeah.
But I understand if you have a Travis Scott feature, you might as well put it in the album.
You're gonna put that on your album at whatever major work you're having. You're gonna put that on there.
You might as well. You know.
Can't fault him for that.
Another thing I wrote was fa 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 fa. Because I think that's an amazing hook.
Yeah.
Or ad lib to the hook. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what you would even call that. Yeah.
But it's so good.
Noises.
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah. Let's go with that. I don't know what it's onomatopoeia of, but
something.
Whatever. Something makes that sound.
But then our last song is No Sense.
Yes. And that was another one I put simple but good. Another mellow one.
Yeah.
As well. To add on to it, which honestly it works with those added in, because outside of going from 16 to the Lost Souls with Brent Faiyaz feature, most of the album is like one or two songs of one type and then one of the other.
Yeah.
And then and one or two of the other and going back and forth. It starts off hard and then it kind of gets more mellow and it keeps going back and forth.
Yeah. It almost makes the cover art work with how he's sitting on a dock that's rainbow colored.
I mean the album title too, Melodic Blue. At first I'm I don't really get it, but now that I'm thinking about it more, I'm I kind of get what the title probably it very well could mean nothing.
Yeah.
But listening to the album as a whole and it's getting into the themes and tones of different things. It makes sense.
I wouldn't be able to describe in detail what it means.
Right.
But it feels what the title feels what it is.
Yes.
But yeah. And so I had I kind of did a summary thing, and it says the Melodic Blue is Baby Keem's second studio album, and it is a great follow-up to his debut, Die For My Beat. This album deals with his fame and how he levels up in his conceitedness while staying true to himself and his family, including teaming up with cousin Kendrick Lamar. While the project isn't as melodic as the title suggests, he exits his comfort zone and tries new styles with autotune, and even played a part in producing every single track. Mm-hmm. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
Kudos. I'm proud of him. The fact that he played a major role in the whole album it makes me excited for what he has planned in store for the rest of his career.
I agree. Because, I didn't know anything about him until you told me about him last semester when we did the album swap.
Yeah. With
his first album. And after listening to this a couple weeks ago when it came out, I had been thinking, I need to listen to that again.
Yeah.
And now especially because I listened to that twice before talking to you about it. And I've done the same thing here. And I think on the second go-around, there was at least one song I liked more. Uh-huh. So I'm thinking, since with this album, it happened liking most songs to liking almost all of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to that again and very much keep track of
because you may enjoy
his future stuff. Yeah, I might enjoy it more now.
I knew that there's one or two songs on there that you just legitimately were not bad, I just don't want to listen to it again.
Yeah.
But, that could change.
Exactly. Maybe that's what I thought about some of the more mellow songs here, and then having heard them again today, I was like, I'm liking this.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of the rap I listen to is usually more, heavy or, hard or vulgar or whatever.
Yeah.
There's still some... So I guess maybe that was just the mood I was in when I listened to it the first time. I had been listening to stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when I was hearing that, I was like, yeah, this is great. And when I got something that was a total tone shift, I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of tuned out. But today, I went in fully, paying attention to everything.
Level-headed.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. So overall, what would you rate this album?
I'm not good at ratings. I think you asked me this last time. Yeah. I'm not good at ratings.
Which, this is all your personal opinion,
right.
too. I don't want you to feel oh my gosh, I have to give this at least a 7 to make him happy.
No.
If you liked it, you loved it.
Yeah. I mean, no, I'll give it... I'm just going straight without thinking that much about it. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's what I get. Because there's only one song that I'm really not crazy about.
Uh-huh.
And... yeah, I'm usually, and especially because for a lot of things, I'm usually all or nothing about some albums.
Yeah.
Or I guess more so I'll like some things here or there, but it's rare that I ever hate an entire album.
Yeah.
For something I've listened to.
Except for Culture 3 by Migos.
I've never listened to that, so I can't.
They know my opinion on it.
I think actually...
We talked about it last week.
Okay, I think I actually heard some people talk about that, and we're I think I heard my brothers talk about it because they're more into Migos, and they were just nah, no.
So bad.
Yeah, I just remember seeing memes about it, and it was funny. That's all I know about.
Yeah. I gave it an 8 because I feel like even the songs I really like, there's certain things that... I wouldn't say I'm disappointed, but there's certain things I was expecting, but...
Right.
I still really enjoyed it. This isn't my album of the year contender, but it's still a very good album.
Yes.
And I've been wanting to talk about it since it dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And so we mentioned it a little bit during the summer recap, but I figured doing a full in-depth review is only right.
Yes,
since
agree.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have. I did have a little game-like segment real quick.
Oh boy, I was not prepared for this.
Give me 4 artists that you think would work well with Baby Keem.
Actually, I think you alluded to that earlier, and I had a feeling that's where this was going. Man, that is a good question. I mean, the first one I thought of when you kind of mentioned it earlier was Jpeg Mafia, but that's mainly because
that would actually be
he's
cool,
like my favorite going still right now. But especially the more that we talked in depth, or the more I've talked about this album and songs in depth out loud with someone else, the more I was like, yeah, he's like doing more things and newer things, and what better way to do that in the future to do more like completely different things than with Peggy. Yeah. Like that's what he's been doing every album he does that.
Yeah, he always does something new.
Yeah, and he's all about not staying the same the whole time and showing people he can do stuff different. So Baby Keem working with somebody like that I would love that.
I think it'd be really cool. I mean,
yeah. I don't think has Baby Keem done anything with Denzel Curry? I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
That's another one too.
There are very few artists that Keem has worked with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his first album came out, what, like 2 years ago?
Yeah. He's still roughly new.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, Denzel Curry I love, too. So I would absolutely... That's another one where it's just like, I like this artist and this one.
Yeah.
So working together sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
And I feel like with how hard, like, Baby Keem was going on some songs with this and going hard with Kendrick, and, you know, like you said, he doesn't usually do that all the time.
He kept up with Kendrick, of all people. You know?
But having Denzel Curry, who goes hard 99% of the time, all the time, whether it's his song or somebody else's... Mm-hmm. Then put them two together, there's going to be too much energy.
Yeah. Almost. He's another artist that keeps the energy no matter what. Yeah. And I love it. Yeah.
Those are two main ones. I know you said 5, but those are two ones that came to my mind immediately.
Honestly, 2 works.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you have some too.
I was just thinking.
I was going to say, you have a more wider range of modern rap knowledge than I do.
Yeah. So I'd love to see what other things he could do with Brent or Travis.
So Travis, yes. I'll include that as one of the 5. I just want to see that again, but different.
Yeah, so that takes up like 2 of my spots.
Yeah.
He worked with Kanye on Donda. He has a verse on, I think it's... I don't even want to ask that. Oh, Praise God, that's the one.
There you go.
And it's really good. Like, that one, he literally just plays with the auto-tune for a second.
A word.
Like, he's just like squealing at one point, and then he's just like... Oh, yeah, and then just goes off, and I'm like, wow.
Sick.
So I'd like to see what he does, like, not necessarily even, like, collabing with Kanye, like verse-wise, but I want to see what he would sound like on more Kanye-produced songs.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, sampling Kanye, he sounds great.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Peggy, and so that instantly made me think, like, what would he sound like if he worked with Injury Reserve?
Yes. Oh, my God, yes.
I feel like...
Because that can be super weird.
Yeah, because like that's 5 dudes right there. So sometimes it's all 5 of them on a song. Sometimes it's only the 2 like main rapping ones. But so that'd be cool. I want to see what he sounds like with Amine more than anything too.
Yeah,
I think him and Amine would work really well together.
Yeah, I just thought of because thinking of like people like someone like Denzel Curry that like has all the energy. Somebody like Ski Mask.
Yes,
I feel like those are 2 different like kind of worlds of rap as well.
That
like,
would work together well.
Yeah, like it's weird. Like I feel like on paper it'd be like it'd be kind of weird if they tried to like work together. But I feel like they can make it work just with the level of energy that they always keep with everything.
Yes, and I feel like Ski being more lyrical than he is melodical.
Yeah,
would kind of cancel each other out and blend very well.
I want
so there's my 5.
Yeah, I really want this now.
There's my 5. I got Brent, Travis, Kanye, Injury Reserve, Amine, and Ski. I got 6. I cheated.
Let's just combine ours. We have like 7 or 8.
Cool. That works.
There we go.
Go team. Go team.
Yeah, go us.
But yes. But thank you for being on the episode, Jacob.
No problem, man. I love doing this.
I love doing it too. I love talking about music.
I was say I don't have enough people I talk music with because some people I talk to either don't care about anything new or don't like anything new, and I'm like I don't want to talk to an 80-year-old about music all the time.
Yeah, you should know I would talk about music with you. I mean, we talk video games.
Right, we talk everything together.
We talk nerd stuff.
Yeah,
we talk
right.
Everything.
We talk about everything.
That's friendship.
Yeah.
If you don't like that, then
we're gonna argue with the camera. Sorry. To whoever's watching.
If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Not to get too aggressive or anything, but I apologize. But once again, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And be sure to tune in next week, because next week we're going to be making a playlist.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I might change my mind before then. Honestly, don't be picky.